Me and my boyfriend got into a fight yesterday that we've gotten into about a million times before. And it always starts out with me saying that I don't feel like we spend enough time together. And then he always replies with, "What do you mean we live together? We spend so much time together. You're crazy." Well, he didn't say that I was crazy, but he implied it. And what I'm realizing is that it makes me feel crazy because there is a real need and truth to what I'm saying, but I'm not expressing it the right way. So what I realize is that I'm craving more quality time together and more emotional connection. And so when we sit on a couch and watch a Netflix show or we're scrolling on our phones, we might be physically present, but we're not actually deepening our connection and deepening our relationship.
You know, it is so funny to watch these girls sit here and complain about the relationships that they choose. Okay, you will get girls who will complain about, "Oh, well, I finally got Chad into a relationship, but he's not emotionally connecting to me. He's not spending some quality time with me. He'll Netflix and chill with me, but he doesn't want to connect with me." Okay, you've got all these girls running around at the moment saying, "Why don't guys want to emotionally connect with me?" Right? And it's just so funny to watch, because the funny part about it is, guys, is they're not choosing men who would give them happy relationships and who would be there for them and show them that they care. They are choosing these guys who have no interest in committing to them on an emotional level. And then they're sitting here and they're complaining about it, and they're upset and surprised, right? Like she said at the start of the video, they've had this argument a lot of times, all right? But what is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again with another response video. And on today's show, guys, we're going to be going through a few videos and a few articles if we have time. But guys, if you're new here, you're liking the videos, make sure you subscribe on your way in. Come and join the locals and the Discord, links in the description. Both of those are totally free to join. And if anything happens to the channel, like, you know, YouTube takes us down for whatever reason, you will be notified through there. So make sure you're in those two things, the locals and the Discord. And if you're interested in supporting, locals has an option for that too. But gentlemen, we're going to be walking through this video together and kind of breaking it down. So make sure you leave your opinions and your thoughts as we go through.
Me and my boyfriend got into a fight yesterday that we've gotten into about a million times before.
Okay, right off the bat, notice how it's a million times before. Right? This is something that you can see before the relationship even starts. Okay, these girls will get themselves into relationships and they'll think to themselves, "Oh, well, maybe in the future he'll commit to me better." Right? It's like, maybe he'll care about me more. You see, what they'll do is they'll try and weasel their way into a relationship with Chad, and then they'll be shocked when he's still not into them like that. He doesn't care. Okay, and these girls will sit here and complain about it when they've got hundreds of dudes who would be ready and willing to give them a relationship, you know, and show that they care about her. But like, guys, don't have empathy for this, right? She chose this situation.
And it always starts out with me saying that I don't feel like we spend enough time together. And then he always replies with, "What do you mean we live together? We spend so much time together. You're crazy."
Yeah, because it makes no sense. When you say that, it makes no sense. You know, you can sit here and you say, "Oh, well, we're not spending enough time together," and yet you live together. That makes the reason why he's saying that is because what you've just said makes no sense. You know, you'll get these girls out here, man, and it's like we're living on another damn planet, right? They're just using words that don't even match the damn situation, and then they're shocked when nobody has any idea what the hell they're saying, and then they want to treat it as, "Oh, you're gaslighting me." No, you're literally just using the incorrect words. People aren't gaslighting you. They're not trying to, you know, manipulate you and, you know, with your emotions. And dude, you're using the wrong words, so nobody has any idea what the hell you're saying, right? Like,
Well, he didn't say that I was crazy, but he implied it. And what I'm realizing is that it makes me feel crazy because there is a real need and truth to what I'm saying, but I'm not expressing it the right way.
yeah, that's true, right? You're not expressing it the right way at all because you're not using the right words. I don't know when, man, but we seem to have gotten sidetracked, you know, through all this stuff where people just forget that words actually mean things, right? You may notice this if you're a guy in a relationship or, you know, long-term relationship, you've been in a marriage, something like that, right? You'll notice that the words just never line up. Okay, and one of the best ways that you can tell this, right, is you'll be in a relationship and the girl will say, "Oh, well, you know, I need you to do this. I need you to do this." So, you know, you go out there and you try and be a good guy and you do those things to make her happy. And then lo and behold, it makes her more unhappy. It just upsets her more, the fact that you're going around doing all these nice things, and you just think to yourself, oh, okay, well, I'll just be even nicer. And before you know it, she's cheating with like the mailman or something, right? Like because they're not using the correct words, and then they're shocked when everyone else around them is like, what the hell is going on?
So what I realize is that I'm craving more quality time together and more emotional connection.
Yeah. You see, and this is the trade of relationships, gentlemen, and this is something that men are lied to about just to no end. Okay? Here's what you were told as a dude. You were told as a guy, you know what, if you want to make a relationship happen, you want to show it, you want to get a nice girl, well, you got to show her that you care. And so society will set you off on the path of, going to university, whatever the case may be, getting that job eventually after 6 years of studying, and then you save up for a house and you'll find your soulmate. And then that's the path that society kind of sets you on. And and you got to show a girl that you care. To get the girl of your dreams, you got to really show her that you care. Okay, and that's just not how things work at all. The real trade in relationships is commitment for physical affection, basically, right? And what guys don't understand is if you as a man, you want to give away your commitment, your time, your energy, your resources for free, girls are going to look over you. You see, this is why you get all these girls in 2021, man. They've got all these nice guys who will do anything for them, but they don't want that guy. Right? Because they're giving away all their power in their trade. They're saying, hey, you know what, woman, you might not be a pleasant person at all, but I want to show you that I care. I want to give away my commitment to you. I'll take you on a dinner date. I'll do all this for you. And she's not interested. You're giving away your. It's like what you're doing is people are coming to a buffet, right? And then you're just giving them all the damn food all at once, and stuffing their face, and they're going, I'm full. I'm not interested. You see what I'm saying? Right? But society lies to men in that way and says, oh, we'll just go out there, guys, give away all your commitment and everything's going to be fine.
And so when we sit on a couch and watch a Netflix show or we're scrolling on our phones,
that's not what you're doing, right? Notice how this is all worded really diplomatically. It's basically saying, okay, well, he's having bedroom fun with me, but he's not investing in me. That's what she's saying. She's saying, he will do these things, the physical fun stuff with me, but he's not investing in me on an emotional or a physical level.
We might be physically present, but we're not actually deepening our connection and deepening our relationship.
Physically present. Is that what the kids are calling it these days? Physically present. My goodness. Well, I mean, props to her for making it so diplomatic, right? But this is what you get when you lock down chat in a relationship. And guys, something I wanted to pull up to kind of illustrate this point to you, as it relates to the video, is this quick article or post here, right? And this is titled "Lessons from FBoy Island." So let's just crack into it, and we'll kind of explain as it relates to the first video. So just finished watching the show FBoy Island on HBO. It's a dating show where self-proclaimed nice guys who are looking for a relationship and self-proclaimed F-boys who are looking to play games compete to win the heart of one of the three main ladies. There's an 100k prize pool at stake for each potential couple. I won't share any spoilers, but it was way better than I expected it to be. Here are some of the biggest lessons I took away from the show on nice guys who want a relationship. And this is the characteristics of the nice guys, right? They won't cause you any unnecessary struggle. You'll always know exactly where you stand with them. They aren't looking for you to train them. They don't need you to be more understanding, empathetic, and forgiving than the Pope. They just show up and do the right things from the jump. In the case of conflict, they take the lead to quickly clear up any misunderstandings and make sure that the woman they care about feels secure publicly. Now, gentlemen, if you've been watching this or any other channel on this side of the internet for any length of time, you will know that all of those characteristics listed there will not help you in dating. In fact, they will actually make dating more difficult for you. Right? And before we got the guys in marriages and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, Taylor, I've been with my wife for 8 years, so what, I raised another man's child, all of these attributes work, I show her that I care. Okay, Greg, I'm happy that works for you. Fantastic, man. But for the rest of us, these are characteristics that you should actively avoid. Okay, showing a girl where you stand, not causing her unnecessary struggle. Guys, girls fall in love. In order for girls to fall in love, and I use love in quotations, right? There's got to be some anxiety there. right? They don't fall in love with the guy who's nice and stable and he's a safe option. Those are the kinds of guys, like these qualities. Before we move on with the article, right? These are the qualities that girls will look for in a provider guy. Right, so once they've hit 30, 40, 50, whatever the case may be, maybe they've got a couple of kids to another man, these are the characteristics that they look for because these represent stability. These mean, okay, well, she doesn't have to work for the rest of her life. Now let's continue with the rest of the article here, okay? On F-boys who want to play games, they bring confusion early on. They use emotional M-word and faux vulnerability to hook women. They rely heavily on S3-actual chemistry. When their feelings get hurt, they lash out or disassociate. They usually start with small lies or have some inclination of a shady past. They make tons of mistakes and count on getting another chance to prove themselves. They live off of the kindness of women and their prey's willingness to give the benefit of the doubt. They fixate on a woman's looks and specific body parts. They will play the long game, but who they showed themselves to be from the jump is who they are unless they personally decide to change. Now we're going to get into the results in a second of this particular show, because remember, this is a show, right, with competitors. Some of the competitors had these characteristics, and some of the competitors have these characteristics. Guys, these characteristics are the ones that will actually benefit you in dating. As sad as it is to say. Right now, am I recommending that you go out and you do these things? Like, guys, I don't particularly care what you do, to be honest with you. Am I recommending it? No. Okay? But look at this, right? They bring confusion early on. Alright? Girls misinterpret what they do is they think to themselves, they start to love a guy when they know that he's a challenge. Right? They don't want a guy who's not a challenge. That guy down the road who will do anything for her, he's boring. He becomes boring. Girls get real bored real easily, man. This is one of the reasons why, right? You want to look at marriages. That is one of the reasons why marriages have some of the largest infidelity rates, right? Is because girls get bored. Okay, what they'll do is they'll go out and they'll secure that provider guy who has all of these nice characteristics. Okay, and then they'll turn around and they'll still be attracted to the guy that looks like this, right? So what they'll do with their nice guy partner is they'll start to withdraw the bedroom fund. They won't treat him as well. They treated him nice at the beginning because they needed that ring, right? Or they needed a couple of kids, right? So they'll treat you nice at the beginning, and then slowly the bedroom fund will start to fade away, and things won't be as nice anymore. But they'll still be attracted to a guy like this. So then they'll go out, and before you know it, they'll be with a guy like this once again. Alright, but now let's see how this whole show concluded, right? Most of these were things that I knew, but seeing it in the show really helped anchor some of those lessons. Also, seeing the women get pulled into the emotional roller coaster that is entertaining F-boys and confusing it as love was interesting to watch and then reflect on when I've done the same. Now, I know I got a lot of guys over here who are not necessarily watching the show. You've got this as background noise. I'm just going to read that to you again, right? Seeing the women get pulled into the emotional roller coaster that is entertaining F-boys and confusing it as love was interesting to watch. Guys, I'm telling you, man, they need this emotional roller coaster, and then they want to sit down and make videos like the stuff that we had at the beginning of the show. Right? They're literally attracted to it, but in the same breath they want to sit down and complain about it and how a guy won't commit to them fully. Right? You can't make it up, man. You absolutely can't. F-boys have a mentality that no matter how bad they dog you out, they can always come back and smooth things over. Nice guys have a mentality that they might only get one shot and they don't want to ruin it, so they act accordingly. And you see, this is the thing that girls hate about nice dudes, right? Is because they understand that one of the reasons anyway, is that they understand that you're only being nice because you have a lack of options. Right, that's all it comes down to. Girls sincerely dislike men who do not have options and who are not liked by other girls. They will make the the rudest comments about guys who do not have options because you are pathetic to her. Right? That's literally how it lines up. Any guy that doesn't have options, you're not worth time, essentially. And that's very funny coming from people who can you imagine, like, if we had a day where all the women were treated as men, right? They had no options, no nothing, right? They don't understand how good they have it, and then they want to turn around and they want to judge people who don't necessarily have any options. For guys, you have to actually earn your options a lot of the time. Yes, like, being good looking, of course, will get you options by default. We all know that. But in general, men are, valued for what they provide. For people to give a crap about you, you actually have to provide something, right? Girls just have to exist, and then they want to judge everyone else, right? When nobody likes them. It just makes absolutely no sense. But back onto the wives and the husbands talk, guys. I have an article here pulled up, and this is something I'd like to address as well, on the topic of infidelity in marriage. Okay, now this one is titled "Wife of Less Than a Year Cheated." So let's crack right in. Hello all. I just wanted to start by saying I do not plan on staying with her. Good start. Long story short, I am currently in the US and left on a detachment for 4 days 3 weeks ago. Once she came to pick me up, she confessed to me that she flirted with another man not even 24 hours after I left. I forgave her, knowing that she had a very cruddy ex that T-worded her, and I believe she was going through an identity crisis. Guys, before you even continue with the damn story, okay, this is a huge red flag, alright? And the reason it's a red flag is kind of twofold here. If you ask a girl, one of the ways you can vet a girl if you're interested in having a relationship and that sort of stuff and going through that minefield is, to ask her about her previous partners. Now, if she says something to the effect of, oh, I was with a guy and, he T-worded me, or our last relationship where he did all of these terrible things, you've got to ask yourself a couple of questions, okay? The first one is, if she's telling the truth, why was she with him? Okay, is she selecting for men that are like that? That is the first concerning question that should go through your mind. The second one is, okay, well, let's just say she's lying and she's not telling the truth, which is the second option, right? Well, you're going to be that guy in the future. You see what I'm saying? It's like, okay, option number one is he did those things and she selected him. Option number two is he didn't do those things and she's lying about him. In any situation, guys, you don't want to be in any of those paths, all right? So that's just a huge red flag right off the bat, okay? Anyway, a few days after that, I have multiple sources telling me it was not a random guy and he was a friend of hers. I proceeded to confront her about this, her not knowing that I knew, and lied to me. I knew it was more than flirting from the other sources and asked her about it, and once again she lied. She lied about every single possible detail about it, including the fact that she was continuing to do it even after I came back. So that being said, she's confessed to everything to me after I told her I knew everything that happened from other sources. I told her I would give her a second chance after a long conversation. Goodness gracious me, man. Okay, I try and really hammer this home on the channel, guys, for you guys watching at home. But first of all, there is no forgiveness for this kind of stuff. Okay, if a girl does this, she's out. I don't care where she sits in your life. I don't care how much you care about her. You do not accept people who treat you like this. Okay, men, for some reason, men just think it's okay to have no self-respect. It's been hammered into men so frequently and so hard that, hey guys, you as a man, you're not supposed to have any self-respect. Right? Guys, if somebody does something like this to you, they're out of your life. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is that you're not out here sitting down having discussions with people who disrespect you like this. It never made any sense to me, man, why the hell you would sit down and have a discussion. Oh, so what she cheated on me, so what she did these things. Oh, we could just talk it out and I hope she feels better. And I'm like, what the hell even is this, man? You're not sitting down to get closure for yourself. You're not sitting down to give it to her. Okay, there's no discussion to be had. Nothing to talk about. Anyway, let's continue. And where are we up to? Oh yeah, but after this past week and dangerously deep thought, have decided to now end it with her. My countless selfless acts just to be taken advantage of like this, her now treating this scenario like nothing happened, and my own mental health has changed my mind. She is currently not in the house for about 4 days, and I have not spoken to anyone other than my mother about this. What should be my next steps? Do I wait until she comes back and talk to her about this? Do I call a lawyer ASAP? I have no idea what to do. Any advice helps. Thank you. Yeah, so first of all, you call a lawyer. Okay? Second of all, you don't talk to her about this. Okay, there's no discussion to be had, man. Like, that just makes me so sad to see. right? When dudes are in situations like this, and what they want to do is that they think to themselves, oh, well, I care about her, so I want to talk it out. Guys, care about yourselves. Okay, goodness gracious me, start caring about yourselves. And I don't say that to, say that in a mean way to the guys who are going through these situations. But what I'm trying to say is, if you put as much effort into yourself as you do other people, man, it'll make your life so much easier. Okay, rather than trying to convince people to stay in your life who have clearly demonstrated no interest in being there. Okay, and guys, we're going to wrap up today's show with one final article here, I believe, depending on how long it takes, okay? And it is titled, How to Move On After Being Cheated On. I feel like such an a-hole right now, but it's complicated. I, a 27-year-old male, came home from work on my wife's birthday with a bunch of flowers, a gift, and a card for my wife, who's 26. I went to go get ready for dinner, for our dinner reservations, and as I come out of the shower, I see my wife sobbing her eyes out. She's read the message I've wrote in the card and says that she's really sorry and just begs me to forgive her. At this point, I'm just trying to comfort her, telling her everything will be okay and that she needs to talk to me. After she calmed down a little, she tells me that she cheated on me the week before at a work event. I, completely shattered and heartbroken, left and spent the night at my friend's house. Needless to say, I didn't sleep a blink, and nor did she. Going by the amount of messages and calls I received, I decided to go home and talk to her the following night. Goodness gracious me. She told me exactly what happened, how sorry she is, and how she didn't want it to end for us. I also didn't want to end the relationship. I love this woman more than life itself. Right? She is my world. We had a long talk. If you've been watching this channel for some time, guys, you already know what I'm going to say here, okay? But do not make other people your world or equivalent or greater than life itself to you. Okay, guys, look, people are going to come and go. I don't care if they're best friends, I don't care if they're girlfriends or whatever the case may be, guys. Sometimes people just come and go. Please put yourself first and the things that you care about. Okay, because people are not necessarily always going to be there for you. And if they decide to leave, they don't want to be with you anymore, they disrespect you and stuff like that. What does that mean? Right? It means that when they leave or when they do stuff like that, they drag your entire world with them. Guys, make your world yourself and the things that you care about. And I don't mean that in a narcissistic way. What I mean is, have hobbies and things that you care about that you're putting first, okay? If you want to put a girl first, let me tell you, it is going to end terribly for you. I don't know what other way I can word it other than it's going to end terribly for you. And that's not me saying, oh, well, all girls are crap or all blah, blah, blah. I just don't think that you should be connecting your happiness to anything that is outside of your control. Okay, guys, I think that is an absolute recipe for disaster. And I think a lot of men do that too much. And I think a lot of guys are taught that as well. A lot of guys are taught this whole, before we continue with the article, guys, here, this whole soulmate stuff, right? It teaches you that, okay, if you don't have your other half, it means you're a half. You see the logic there, right? Is like, you as a guy, you need to go out and find your other half, your better half. And the supposition there is that you're only half if you're by yourself. That's not the case, gentlemen, okay? That's such a disgusting narrative to push, I find, and it makes guys go through such a hard time. Anyway, I told her how I also don't want to end our relationship, but I am hurting and I won't be able to be all normal around her until I finally move on from what happened. She said that she understands and is willing to do anything to save our relationship. The past week has been tough. She tried to be a loving, caring wife, but I've put her down unintentionally, and I know it's upsetting her. She will make my favorite meals, but I just don't have the stomach to eat. She's been trying to hug and kiss me, but I just turn away. She's been trying to make small talk, but I just can't reciprocate. Man, look, I read these articles to you guys. I think that they're great in the way of, showing what to look out for and stuff like that. And I do not mean for the show to go in, a very sad direction, right? And I don't particularly care a lot of the times when I read these things, man. Like, they have no effect, but that's just kind of sad to read, right? Of all the things on the show, guys, that we watch and we joke about, man, that is actually kind of sad. All right, and here's the funny part about it, okay? We'll just swiftly move on here. The funny part about this situation is girls will make a mistake like this, right, in a serious committed relationship, and then they'll be so concerned about you leaving after the fact. Because a lot of times, you're the meal ticket. A lot of times, you're the security that she has in her life. Okay, so she'll go out and she'll do a terrible action, and then she'll go, wait a minute, I can't lose this guy. He's my lifeline here. I can't lose him. It's kind of gross at the same time, man. It's like, man, that was actually pretty hard to read. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Like, normally I can get through these stories and not really give a crap. Like, yeah, it's cringe. I'll just go to the gym after recording these for you guys. But man, that was a bit of a gross one right there. Anyway, this really hit high tonight when I came home from the gym and she had dinner ready. I told her I wasn't hungry and went to shower. While I was coming down the stairs to get my laptop, I see her through the doorway crying. As soon as she heard me approaching, she quickly wiped off her tears. I asked her if she's okay. She just smiled and said she's fine. I'm sat in bed right now feeling like crud. I know she's hurting from me being like this, but I just can't stop thinking of what she did. Edit. Just a few things to give some more detail. My wife and I have been married for 6 years and together for 8. Blah blah blah. She says that it was a mistake and that she overcome by curiosity when she regrets acting upon it. She did quit her job and cut all contact with the person. Goodness gracious me, before we end today's show, I just want to see what other people say on this terrible website. I humbly suggest you go be by yourself or with family friends for a while, 2 weeks in a month, and take some therapy. Blah blah blah. Let's see what other opinions we got in here. Blah blah blah. Blah blah. Goodness me, can this bot go away? Right. Great advice. She needs her own therapy to understand how she took it so far. I don't know why no one is saying this, but if you stay with her, she will likely do it again. There it is. Yep. It wasn't an accident, it was a choice. Personally, I wouldn't continue to be with someone who makes choices that hurt me. You know what? That's a fantastic comment. I like that. Good job, man. I hate this website. I really do not like this website, but finally some sense. Okay? Guys, if somebody disrespects you, if they do actions like this against you, please do not stay. Okay, please have the self-respect to be able to walk away from the situation. Okay, too many guys are kind of conditioned, and they think to themselves, they're either conditioned into it to continue to give no matter what other people do to them, and the other side of it is a lot of guys are kind of concerned about being alone. Guys, don't worry about being alone. Okay, like, just absolutely don't. Focus on what it is that you care about, okay? Too many men... Look, I have a Patreon where guys ask me questions and set up calls and stuff like that. And oftentimes, like, it just comes down to, living your life for yourself and not placing... Girls are not always going to be there, okay? Then they shouldn't be the focus of the things that you care... they should be things that you care about for sure, but definitely not the focus. Alright, but guys, we're going to leave today's episode there. A bit of a sad one, goodness gracious me. If you enjoyed, make sure you leave a subscribe on the way out and leave your thoughts on your way out as well. Guys, don't forget to come and join the locals and the Discord links in the description. Both of those are totally free to join. And if you'd like to support the channel, locals also has that option there. But we're going to call it there, guys. As always, make sure you take care of yourselves. And I will see you boys in the next video. Peace.